All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 92 of Pozios Picks. In today's episode, I'm going to give you guys my favorite Week 3 college football plays. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. First game we're going to go over, we've got some Big Ten action. Penn State is going to Illinois to take on the Illini. Illinois are 14.5-point underdogs at home, and the total for this one is set at 48.5. Penn State has looked fantastic in their first two games of the season, and I think if they can have a convincing win here in their first conference game, they can really solidify themselves as contenders in the Big Ten. I've not been impressed whatsoever with Illinois this year so far, and I think this game is a massive opportunity for Drew Aller to really build some confidence before he matches up with the Iowa defense next week. Illinois really lost a lot in that secondary over the summer, and it has been clear in their first two games. Last week, Jalen Daniels and Kansas tore them apart. We gave you guys that one. That was an easy winner. You're welcome. Team total cash in the third quarter. And with Penn State's talent, they should be able to do the same even on the road. This recipe is simple with Penn State this year. Get the offense going early and allow the defense to lock up. Then let the running back duo kill the clock and possess the ball. Stick to that, and they'll continue to win a ton of games this year. Penn State minus 14 is going to be my play for this one. Next game I'm going to go over, Georgia Southern is going to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers. Wisconsin are 19.5-point favorites at home, and the total for this one is set at 64.5. Huge bounce back spot here for the Badgers after going to Wazoo and losing last week. Seems like they've been trying to figure out a lot of stuff on offense so far, and I think this is a great spot for them to do just that. Georgia Southern isn't horrible on defense, but there is still an obvious talent gap here, and Wisconsin should have no problem moving the ball. On the other side, Wisconsin has surprisingly been a bit shaky on defense, especially on the back end, and against an air raid offense, they could run into a bit of trouble if things haven't tightened up. I like Wisconsin in this spot, but my main play here is going to be the over 64.5. Air raid versus air raid in this one. Hopefully Georgia Southern can give us a few scores and we can get over the number quickly. Next game I'm going to go over, Minnesota is going to Chapel Hill to take on North Carolina. North Carolina are 7-point favorites at home in this one, and the total is set at 51. Two 2-0 teams square off here at North Carolina, and I think this is the tale of two different offenses. I had some questions about UNC coming into the season, and Drake May and company have answered them. The offense is still humming with obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but something that's been impressive to me so far is their defense, especially up front. We've seen them, especially in that South Carolina game, be able to create a lot of pressure, and if they can speed up inexperienced quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis for the Gophers, it could spell trouble for Minnesota. Minnesota's offense simply has not been good in their first two games. They got shut down by Nebraska in game one, then followed that up with a 25-6 victory over Eastern Michigan. Down the stretch, I don't think they're able to stay in this game, and the Tar Heels roll at home. Give me UNC minus 7. The next game on the slate is going to be Northwestern going to Duke. Duke are 17-point favorites at home, and the total for this one is set at 48.5. The way this line has been moving makes no sense, and it scares me a lot, but I have to roll with my original brain on this one. Duke is just flat out much better than Northwestern. They have experience returning on both sides of the ball, and they have one of the best quarterbacks in the country taking snaps for them. I think this line is a big overreaction to Northwestern's performance last week, and going on the road to Duke, I think things come back down to earth a little bit here. If there wasn't reverse line movement on this game, this would be my game of the year. I still love this game. I'm daring Vegas to take this one from me. Give me Duke minus 17 at home. Next game on the slate is going to be Western Michigan going to Iowa. Iowa are 28.5-point favorites at home in this one, and the total is set at 42.5. I can't believe I'm going to take this play. This one could end up bad, but my reasoning here is good. As we know, Iowa offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz has the requirement in his contract that Iowa needs to average 25 points per game this season or he gets fired. They have scored less than that in their first two games. This is a perfect opportunity to run up a score and bring that average up high before they get into Big Ten play. This is a disgusting play, like I said, but Western's defense is bad enough for them to do it. I'm not going to go full game here just in case it's a blowout and things slow down, but give me Iowa first half team total over 19.5. I think they run it up quickly, 3 touchdowns in the first half, and then coast the rest of the game. Next game on the slate, Washington is going to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans. MSU are 16-point underdogs at home in this one, and the total is set at 55.5. This one is going to be really interesting in East Lansing. We're not going to get into all the scandal stuff because everyone knows what's going on with that, but we can't pretend like it's not going to affect the game in some way. I'm not going to bet against MSU here, even though I really, really wanted to. But because of the D'Antonio factor, guys might be fired up and ready to go, and I wouldn't be surprised if we look a little bit better. With that being said, though, this MSU defense, as this game goes on, I don't think will be able to stop Michael Penix and the Washington pass game. I'm expecting some noise early from Sparty, but I don't think it'll last with the talent that we have on the field. Now, can I see MSU covering this number? Yes, especially with this game being at home. So we're going to stay away from the spread, and my play here is going to be the over 55.5. Washington's defense is not that great either, and the way their offense runs, MSU is going to have a good amount of possessions to at least put some points up as the game goes on. Eventually, I think this game starts going a little bit back and forth, and personally, I think this total should be a bit higher. Over 55.5 in East Lansing. Next game on the slate, NIU is going to Nebraska. Nebraska are 11.5-point favorites at home, and the total is set at 43. A lot of gross games and gross bets on this Saturday card. Nebraska has had a really tough start to the season, and Jeff Sims has looked horrible to start the year, but I think this is one where they can turn it around. A lot of hype surrounding NIU after they beat Boston College in Week 1, but then we quickly realized that Boston College is actually that horrible when NIU followed that up with a loss at home to Southern Illinois the next week as a touchdown favorite. I mean, if you can't beat this team by 2 scores in Lincoln, Matt Rule, you've got some big, big problems on your hand. Give me Nebraska minus 11.5. The last game I'm going to go over, Colorado State is going to Colorado. Colorado are 23.5-point favorites, and the total is set at 60.5 in this one. I mean, I don't even think I have to explain myself here. All the controversy this week, I can't believe what the Colorado State coach has said. Like Dion needs any more ammunition against anyone. Give me Colorado. I'm going to split it up. I'll take Colorado first half minus 13.5 and Colorado game minus 23.5. I just don't think Dion stops hitting the gas pedal and they can run it up here. That is going to do it for this episode of Pozios Picks. Thank you guys so much for watching or for listening. Before we go, though, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, make sure to check out our new merch drop in the link below or in our bios on Twitter or anywhere else. We've got new merch for the fall. Temperatures are going down a little bit. We've got Q-zips, new hoodies, long sleeves for you guys. So be sure to check that out. We'd really, really appreciate it. Also, shout out to SoBet. We have now partnered with SoBet. So be sure to sign up on SoBet to get some exclusive betting content. Make sure to use our promo code Pozios when you sign up there. And we are really, really excited to work with SoBet and really excited to see you guys over there. So that is going to do it for this one. Good luck to everyone on your Saturday college football bets, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.